Alright, fuck. We just fucking saw fucking Sabotage and some Josh fucking Holloway, Olivia fucking Williams. Fucking yeah, we saw this motherfucking cocksucking action movie. Motherfucker. This was, without a doubt, hands down, one of the most unapologetically vulgar movies I've seen in God knows how long. It's specifically just in terms of its profanity. Because if we're talking about on-screen, like, debauchery and stuff like that, like, I'm pretty sure Wolf of Wall Street has that record locked down for a while, but this movie took colorful language and turned it into an art form. It was insane. I didn't know, most of the time, I didn't know whether to laugh, scratch my head. I didn't know if I was, I didn't know if I was sitting there like, is this too much? I mean, I think it is too much, but, I am not objecting to this.
No. It was, yeah, and it wasn't like flavor. It was chaining vulgarities together as the worst insults you could think of.
And filler words, anything. Just any opportunity. If there was a scene in this movie in a church, the priest would have ended with "a fucking man." Wow! And I'm a very vulgar person. I cuss a lot. I curse a lot.
Yeah.
And if you've seen any of the movies I've written, there's a lot of colorful language in that too. This movie gives Midnight Heat a run for its money in terms of colorful language on screen. This was insane, and I kind of loved this movie.
It was a hell of a lot of fun.
It so was, man. Full disclosure, this movie is totally my cup of tea. But here's the thing, like, I don't know in what universe this movie is from. Because it's not so much 80s or early 90s. I have no idea in what universe this movie is from. This movie is preposterous in every way, shape, or form. In plot, in characters, in acting, in fucking everything. In its language, this movie, even in the 1980s, people would have left this movie like, wow, that was a lot.
I think it would have been overboard, maybe, just a bit. Well, I mean, it starts out with Arnold's character watching his wife get tortured to death.
Yeah.
Just watching it.
That's the opening scene.
And then him with blood on his fucking, just blood dripping off his hands.
Yeah.
And then it just goes 8 months later. I'm like, okay, well,
all right.
Explain that.
Are they gonna fucking explain that? His whole family was taken from him and tortured, and pieces of them are mailed to Arnold. Like, her face, all of this shit. And he's oddly... He seems to be reacting the same way if they just died of natural causes. Like, his reaction to this is like, yeah, he's certainly, like, kind of burnt out, but really no burnt out than he probably would be had they not died.
Right.
Like, he seems to be kind of taking most of it in stride, sort of, except in parts where he's smoking a cigar, drinking a whiskey, and watching it. That's weird.
I don't know that most people would be rewatching your wife's death.
Like, that's fucking bizarre. Okay.
And you get the idea that it's not the first time he's done that.
No.
At all.
No, not at all.
I expected him to have his pants around his ankles, to be honest with you. Just just kind of like getting off on it or something, because it's just like, Jesus.
The movie is... I don't know. It's like if you crossed... It's if you cross like a James Glickenhaus movie with 10 Little Indians.
Okay.
It's a group of DEA agents who are crooked as shit. They're just sort of suddenly crooked too. There's not really a build up to being this crooked. They just kind of are. They're really crooked, and they come across this giant payload, like this fucking stack of money, and they decide to steal like $10 million worth of it. So they do, but the place that they store it in, the money is now all missing. And for about 6 months, they're under investigation for it, but after the 6 months, they're like, well, we couldn't find anything, so $10 million,
Right.
whatever, badge, gun.
Well, they didn't know what the fuck to do with them, though, so it was kind of like, I think they were kind of
yeah.
throwing them back out there, hoping they would hang themselves.
Which they do, yeah, because it does really turn into like something like 10 Little Indians. Like each one of the members starts getting picked off one by one in the most gruesome ways imaginable. The tone of this movie is weird because this movie is simultaneously, the machismo is through the roof on this thing. This makes Riddick look like Little Women.
Imagine the fucking hand clasp scene from Predator between Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger, amped up to 11.
Yeah, imagine that for 90 minutes. That's, you son of a bitch. Do it. Imagine that. If they're crooked as fuck, and it's like 90 minutes of that. The way that these guys talk to each other they're constantly like berating each other, like insulting them left and right. It is the most bro-y fucking thing I've seen in God knows how long. Like, the movie easily could have turned into gay porn at any second.
Yeah, it could have.
And so it's simultaneously that and funny because of that, because the language they have, that's what you get for finger fucking the devil's pussy. Was that it?
That's what you get when this is what happens when you finger the devil's pussy.
You see my eyes now, motherfucker? You see this look in my fucking eyes? I will fuck you to death. I am gonna fuck you to death. Ha ha ha. Now I wanna fuck her. Ha ha. Fuck. That's the dialogue in this movie. Everyone talks like this. It isn't just the DEA agents. It's the cops. It's the fucking captain of this squad. It's the fucking FBI captain. Everybody talks like this in it. Like, yeah, well, you can go back to the squad car. Suck my dick. And I kind of loved it. Because it has been a while since something like this has been made, and it will be a while before you see something else like
What was
this.
that fucking line between the two cops that were following Arnold? They're like, I'm not sticking my dick where your dick's been. He's like, well, what about Rebecca? I was just like, well, that was out of nowhere.
The movie is just them. It's just the characters giving each other shit for 90 minutes, and then they just start getting killed. Like, yeah, the two. I really like that scene because these two cops are assigned to tail around Arnold, and he like makes them breakfast. He's like, here you go. He gives them Pop-Tarts. Like, oh, thanks, man. And he's like, I saw you pissing in my bushes. I have security cameras. And he's like, oh, that wasn't me. That was him. I've got my piss jar. He holds up a bottle of piss. His friend is like, I ain't using that. I ain't sticking my dick where his dick has been. What is with these two guys? There's a jar of piss in the car. So somebody, even though no one knows what happened to this money, so through the movie, I'm like, why is anyone even getting killed? No one knows where the money is. Like, I mean, it explains it. But no one knows where the money is. And each member of this task force, so they start getting killed off. And then by the end of it, they all kind of start turning on each other. And then Arnold is helping out Olivia Williams, who is Officer Sarah. Officer Sarah is, she is great. And I love this. The women in this movie not only kick so much ass, but outshine all of the machismo male counterparts by far. Olivia Williams is... her character is, she's totally competent throughout this whole movie. She is driving cars in action scene. She is shooting motherfuckers. She's the most professional one in the movie. Like, yeah, there is like this forced part where she fucks Arnold. But even
that was just the machismo. I mean,
it totally was.
It oozed into her. So, I mean, she was already fucked by his machismo. She figured she'd get the rest of it. So.
That was weird and really sudden. Like, but then when it was over, it was not romantic, and it was not intended to be romantic in any way, shape, or form. When it's over, her partner, who's Harold Perrineau says, "Oh, ha, ha, someone had a hot date," and she's like, "Yeah, who said it was a date?" Like,
yeah,
the women in this movie are not completely. It's like I said, they not only hold their own against all of these other guys in the movie, but they are also way more intimidating. Like, Mireille Enos from The Killing is this cracked out meth head member of their task force, which you gotta question any task force that has someone like this still on their team. But anyway, they are kind of crooked. But she's openly, like, downing meth during, like, raids and stuff. But anyway, she is a spitfire. She's vulgar as shit. She is, like, when they're all getting drunk at a party and stuff like that, she is, like, dancing and shit. And, like, she's like, if she's almost the Marion Ravenwood of this movie, if Marion Ravenwood was a fucking psychopath and just started killing people.
Yeah.
Like, she is insane. Mireille Enos is insane in this. She is awesome.
Easily the most vulgar member of the cast.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, of course, we're going to get into spoiler territory here. This is a character who, when she accidentally kills her husband, she just stuffs him in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, when at the end, when she's driving away from Arnold and Olivia Williams, and she's just in the trunk firing just this giant machine gun at him, she is really scary. Like, the acting in this movie is pretty damn good, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, shit.
There are characters, like, the movie does a good job of focusing on the more colorful characters in it, because there are some minor characters of this squad who could really be interchanged with each other.
Right.
And those characters honestly get bumped off pretty quick, and the better ones in it they leave us with the better members of this group. The Terrence Howards, the Mireille Enoses, although the movie could have used a lot more Josh Holloway.
I don't know. Joe Manganiello can hold his own too, though.
He was good.
So.
He was good. He was good. They are all pretty good in it. They all seem to be having fun. But yeah, like I said, there are moments when the movie is just straight out unapologetically really over the top and fun, and then followed up by moments of just dark brutality that is straight up out of a guinea pig film. And out of nowhere, like, there are crime scenes in this that focus on organs, like, God, yeah. Entrails,
just guts, just hanging,
hanging from the ceiling,
body parts just strung everywhere, entrails just sitting on top of an engine, everywhere,
and it lingers on it too.
Yeah.
It is proud that it is this graphic. And that, in this new wave of, like, Arnold movies and Stallone movies, I like that regardless of whether or not you end up liking the movie or not, regardless of whether or not you like this, Last Stand, Bullet to the Head, things like that, regardless of that, they are still doing Stallone movies, Arnold movies. Whether you like them or not, they're not choosing movies that are out of their. They're not shooting movies that are very much like of today's kind of action movie. Your Fast and the Furiouses, your Transformers, your movies like that. I like that the movies that these guys choose are still hard art.
Like when he did that fourth Rambo and he's in the back of the truck and he just starts shooting the guys in the head, that kind of shit, yeah. I think he's decided he doesn't want to do anything but that anymore.
But yeah.
And then after the success of Expendables, I think they're like, hey, I think you're onto something. So it seems like a lot more of the 80s action stars are going, yeah, we can do that again. Why not?
And they still give us, like, movies with They give us all the language. My God, the language, the vulgarity, the There are scenes in this movie where Arnold, just for no reason, has a cigar in his mouth when he's leaving like raids and DEA raids and stuff like that. He will just have a lit cigar out of his mouth. It was kind of awesome. We got to talk about the sheer amount of fucking collateral damage in this movie, too.
You mean like the car chase where you actually get to see people get shot, the innocents? It's like, you know, like you were saying, a lot of times when you see a car chase scene and people are firing, you don't see anybody get hurt or anything. No, in this one, yeah, people's heads get blown off and the car just kind of veers off and you just see this big... puddle, it just,
this guy on a bicycle just practically explodes. I'm in the theater several times like, Jesus Christ! Like, yeah, in most action movies that completely sidestep the whole, you know, some bystanders might have got killed during this. Oh no, this movie shows it to you. In really graphic detail. Really graphic detail. And by the end of it, it turns out that Arnold is the one who stole all the money, which you'd think once his crew was starting to get killed off, he would have stepped up and said something. But
he's hardcore, man. He's what it ends up being is he took the money so he can go down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Pay off the federal police to find the guy who killed his wife. And then he proceeds to just fucking go in and just start blasting.
It ends in this amazing bar gunfight that's kind of awesome. Like, you have when your last shot is Arnold in this bar surrounded by dead bodies, sitting there and pouring himself a glass of whiskey while wearing a cowboy hat. You know, that's kind of awesome.
Well, he gets shot, and it's in an area where it's kind of ambiguous as whether he's gonna die or not. So he just kind of opens it, lights a cigar, and just smiles, and then end scene.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was a cool ending. I honestly did. I mean, it's a movie that if you want to pick holes through it, you probably could.
Easy.
Yeah, you could. The movie's fucking preposterous, but why waste your time picking holes in Sabotage? Like, oh, good, wow, you're smart. You figured out the holes in Sabotage. I bow to you, Einstein. The movie is just, I mean, it's made for. The movie is totally made for people who still like their action movies like this and who aren't cynical about them anymore. And I like going to a movie like this and having a good time. And this movie, I just love the sheer novelty of it, because I can imagine it will be a while before we see another action film that is this level of gruesome, vulgar, all of that stuff. This gives you everything, and like, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's honestly really well made.
It's a lot of fun. It really is.
It's from the director of End of Watch, which mad respect for going from End of Watch to something like this. That's pretty cool. Like, because it's shot, you can tell it's from the director of End of Watch. You can tell by the way it's shot. It's shot really well. These action sequences are ambitious. It is. It's not just. It's shot like a very ambitious film, like something like End of Watch, but it's a really vulgar Arnold movie. That was kind of cool, and I liked it better than, because we saw Last Stand together.
Yeah.
I honestly liked it better than that.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, that was. I mean, Last Stand wasn't. I mean, it had its moments, fun moments, but this one, it was just it sold it more.
This one's a lot more, this one's a lot more fast-paced.
It is, yeah.
I think that Last Stand was probably... I think that was maybe trying to be less of a B movie than this one is. In its storytelling and its structure, because this one is just from beginning to end, Like it's got a highly acclaimed director, which so did Last Stand, but this one, it's got a highly acclaimed director who's having fun making a vulgar ass Arnold movie. That
Right.
And that's kind of cool. And also, I got to touch on this too. It's from the guy. It's Skip Woods co-wrote this movie, who wrote Die Hard 5. I don't know how much of the script is his, because David Ayer, who directed it, he also wrote Training Day. David Ayer did. He's also got a co-writing credit on this too, so it's between him and Skip Woods. Skip Woods being the guy who wrote Die Hard 5, Origins Wolverine.
So he must have contributed all the vocal parts then. And then Ayer's trying to, okay, you throw in the vulgarity, I'll try and steer this ship and do a somewhat decent plot.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but I will say this. However much of this script is his, whatever Skip Woods did here worked. Like, maybe this isn't a great movie, certainly, but as a piece of entertainment, as a piece of just 90 minutes of just talking the piss out of people, either with your mouth, fist, guns, or what the fuck ever you can find, he made it work. Like, he did. Like, I'm never going to forgive his ass for Die Hard 5.
I don't think anybody could.
Yeah, but I'll at least say, okay, well, your name's attached to something I liked. I liked this.
That's interesting. That's...
Yeah.
because there's no redeeming quality in Die Hard 5. Or really Origins Wolverine, for that matter. But that's
the nicest thing I can say about Origins Wolverine is that I guess it's better than Die Hard 5. But we'll take that for what it's worth.
Right.
What were some more fucking lines from this movie? It's hard to pinpoint because it is just swarmed in a mass of four-letter words.
Or is after they Olivia Williams' character Arnold have sex, her partner said they're going, so is he natural blonde? Is he big? Is he a big guy? He's like getting all like hardcore about this, and I'm like, no, don't know. He's like, is he a big guy? Was he good? It's like
they're swapping dick sizes.
Yeah.
I liked that. I liked that, like, these characters. I like that these characters, man or woman, are just like, just total vulgar jackasses. I liked that.
Yeah.
I like that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter if you're a man. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. It doesn't matter if you're a straight edge cop, a crooked cop. At the end of the day, some people just like to drink and curse at each other and insult the ever-loving shit out of each other. I found that refreshing. I found that totally refreshing about this movie. Especially the car chase, and I love that at the end of the day, all of these deaths are happening because crazy fucking meth head Mireille Enos is insane and thought that they stole her money and wanted to kill all of them.
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie is really happening because of an honest misunderstanding.
Yeah, and her look of betrayal when Arnold finally tells her, no, it was me that took the money. I was like, ooh, that's gotta sting.
Oh, then he just point blank shoots her.
The hell out, yeah. And I'm like, damn, you just killed all those guys. How's that make you feel?
Yeah.
Not too good right about now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Arnold got to say, that looks like a dick.
Yes, he did.
Like,
oh, Jesus.
That's an Arnold line that's going on the reel.
Looks like a dick. I forgot about that.
That's going on the Arnold reel of Arnold lines. The guys, you've seen this part in the trailer. The guy is getting a tattoo on his back and it kind of looks like a penis, and Arnold comes in and says, that looks like a dick. God damn it. When I was laughing in this movie, there were parts where I just genuinely wasn't sure if I was supposed to. I think I was. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, I don't think, the language is so over the top, you can't help but laugh.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's kind of what they're going for. I don't think anybody goes into this movie taking that dialogue completely seriously and just going, oh, Oh, that does look... No. It's... it's so over the top. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Or like when he's getting... That was another one. Arnold's getting interrogated by the other...
that was awesome.
And he's like... And the guy's yelling. He's like, you don't get to yell at me with your 48% body fat, you girly. And I'm just like... Oh my god!
And again, this is shot by the director of End of Watch, so it's really gritty looking. It's really gritty looking and shot from like a handheld camera. Like, so it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. It's like looking at it's like looking at an indie film that's an Arnold movie. What?
I was like, damn, Arnold, guy eats a few extra donuts. Let him alone.
Arnold was looking pretty. He got the. He's at least got the arms back. He's at least built his arm strength back up. His hair was doing something or other in this movie.
I don't know what the hell that was.
That was amazing, is what that was.
That was like Dennis the Menace crossed with alfalfa. That's what that was. That fucking part, man. That part was just fucking epic.
Yeah, I liked that. It's like colored, except all around here where it's gray.
Right.
I really would love to see, like, I don't know if this movie will do any good because the previous Arnold movies and Stallone movies haven't really done that good, but I hope it does. With Arnold and Stallone though, even when I don't like the movie, I still, for their sake, hope the movie does well. In this one, I don't know if it'll do well or not, but I would love to see more movies from this universe. Like, I would love to see more movies about Olivia Williams and Harold Perrineau as buddy cops. I would really love to see that.
You know, with Arnold bulking up too, I'm kind of hoping that means he's getting ready for
King Conan.
For King Conan.
Oh, dude.
That would be fucking awesome.
Triplets.
Fucking triplets. Are they still doing that shit?
Are they
still doing the black one as the third one?
The last I heard, it was like Eddie Murphy was the third.
Oh my god.
Which, not to argue twins continuity, but if you've seen the first movie, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No.
But anyway, I digress about the twins mythology.
It's eugenics, that's all it was. That's how they can explain it away.
That movie is still listed as being in, like, pre-production, I think, on IMDb. So is Legend of Conan, I think is the title that it's under now. I hope they still do that.
That would be an awesome film.
Yeah.
And he's perfect right now. His age is... Mm-hmm. Yes.
I hope they do.
And you can... Well, then with these movies, he can still hold his own in an action movie.
He can.
Like Last Stand, it was kind of more... I mean, aging, kind of like, I'm an old crotchety. This one, I'm kicking ass through and through.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that gives you hope. Like, everybody, I think, wonders if he could possibly do a Conan movie at his age now. And if this is an indication, he would whip ass.
Yeah.
Just doing another Conan movie.
He can still hold his own in a movie. Yeah. He absolutely can. When he's shooting motherfuckers, when he's beating the shit out of people, you still believe it. I did. When he was taking out that bar at the end of it,
oh yeah,
I believed it. I didn't doubt it for a second. I didn't. He's still charismatic. He can still hold his weight in his scenes. He's Arnold. He's Arnold, and Arnold has always been smart about playing role for the most part anyway. Is smart about playing roles that are well suited for Arnold. Right. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's... You know, the closest thing you're going to see to Shakespeare with Arnold is Last Action Hero. With, Claudius, you killed my father.
Oh,
Big mistake.
Last Action Hero.
I will stick up for that movie till the day I die. I love Last Action Hero. I love that movie to death. But yeah, like this is a total Arnold role.
Oh,
and like a total Arnold role, he does perfectly fine. He's fun. He's really fun. He's funny. He's got that cool. Now that he's a lot older now, he's got that cool, like, icy Clint Eastwood stare going
He
on.
does. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, he can stare you down now.
Oh, holy shit, yeah. He's got the Eastwood gaze going on in this, which I'm sure is probably intentional, because I know Eastwood is one of Arnold's role models in terms of his movies.
I think he even narrows the eyes the same way that
He
Clint
does. Yeah, and he pulls it off.
Oh, yeah.
He pulls it off, because if Arnold's going to give you that stare, he's going to snap your goddamn neck. Got any final words about the movie?
It was fun. I mean, based on the critical reception and whatnot, I don't know if it'll do all that great, but it's worth a watch. It definitely was.
Yeah,
just for how fucking over the top it is.
Yeah, if everything that we've described sounds like your cup of tea, you'll like it. If the movie's not for you, then it's not for you. Then you won't like it. Why even go see it? But yeah, if this is your thing, you'll have fun at this. You will. It's got like a 20-some on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, God, it's not that fucking bad.
No, not at all.
It's again, it's especially compared to the shit I saw last night.
Oh God, yeah, that's no.
Well, I'm glad I got to get you out for tonight. You got to come out for a good one. The previous weekends were like, oh, hey, are you free? Can you go see fuck bad movies? Will you go see Divergent? I think that was last week.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but you didn't miss anything.
No, I didn't think I would.
You didn't miss it. I'll tell you this much: if you were at Divergent last week, you would have come out of it and you would have been like, well, you know what? It was better than Vampire Diaries or Vampire School. What the fuck, Vampire
Academy.
Vampire Academy. Okay, Vampire Academy. That movie that was out for a week.
Well, Divergent at least had like Kate Winslet in it.
And Ray Stevenson.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Oh, the supporting cast was, like, almost too good for that movie. It was, like, Kate Winslet, Ray Stevenson, Tony Goldwyn, Ashley Judd.
Yeah.
What? Okay. I think next week is, Captain America. Next week's Captain America, but I think we're going to try seeing a couple of things midweek, too. But I'll probably still post them the same time as Captain America. They're doing a re-release of Silence of the Lambs next week. I think me and my mom are planning on doing that. And... oh, Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, that actually had a preview screening tonight, but we didn't have enough of us to go see. And I don't have enough space on the camera anyway for 3 separate videos. Especially the...
fucking Noah... Jesus.
Yeah, for as long as we were waiting out there, I think it seemed like their video of Noah's was them reciting the script. It's as long as the movie.
I mean, I couldn't show them any more body parts without getting arrested for, indecent exposure. So, I mean, come on, they need to stop that shit.
You're gonna have to get the snob DVD for that.
Right.
Which, I should have... sorry. I should have promoted that at the beginning of this. No, I'll promote it at the end of it, sure. That's the best part. That's the best spot to put this. Alright, yeah, the DVD, Cinema Snob, Nudies, Rudies, and Crudies. It's on sale now. Pick that up. You'll find lots of great stuff on there. Some stuff you thought you'd never ever see before. And also me and Jake reviewing My Little Pony Equestria Girls.
What?
Oh yeah. Me and Jake watched My Little Pony Equestria Girls. Well, I can't give my thoughts on camera, then no one will buy the DVD. I want to leave them.
I'm pretty sure I know your fucking thoughts on Equestria Girls.
I got to explain to Jake what cloppers were.
Oh my God.
So, buy the DVD. WalkAwayEntertainment.com.
Jesus Christ.
We'll see you next week with Captain America and a couple other things. See ya.
Adios.